welcome back to my channel. It's Nurse Mimi here again. If it's the first time of seeing my pretty face, I'm Nurse Miracle. I'm a nurse, I'm a makeup artist, and I eat puppies in UK. Let me rewind that again. I'm a nurse and an entrepreneur and YouTube puppies in UK. Okay, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly click on the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so I want to use this medium to thank everybody that congratulated me on passing my Osce. Yay! Thank you all so much. I really appreciate all the comments, all the congratulatory messages. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, so today I'll be answering a question that I was asked recently. So someone asked me of how my preparations towards my Osce, what Osce entails, and how I prepare, and the tips to prepare. Yeah, so I'm answering all that here. So first of all, Osce simply means objective structural clinical exams. Yeah, so if you're an overseas nurse, you're not trained in the UK, if you're trained outside the UK, you're meant to write 2 parts of exam for your license: your CBT exams and your Osce exams. Your CBT exam, you're meant to write it before you come into UK, and also your IELTS exam, yeah, but very important, which is the English test. And then the Osce exams, basically just test of your clinical skills in the nursing profession. Yeah, so Osce is divided into several parts. You have your API station, which constitutes of the 4 stations in Osce. In general, Osce is in 10 stations. Yeah, you have your API station, then you have your skill station, then you have your professional based and evidence-based stations. Let's come back again. Okay, so Osce in general is in 10 stations. You have 10 stations you're writing. You have 4 stations, which is the API station: assessment, planning, implementation, and evaluation. That's 4 stations. That's 4 skill stations. Then you have 2 other stations, which is based on professional values, which is professional values and evidence-based values. Then you have your other 4 stations, which is basically clinical questions, skills, basically. So you'll be doing skills like wound dressing, you'll be doing skills like nasogastric tube feeding, you'll be doing skills like glucose monitoring, blood glucose monitoring, carrying out basic clinical practical stations that are recently added ones currently. Yeah, so but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about today is basically tips of passing Osce, and then what Osce entails, which I already said, which is in 10 API stations and then the skill station. So altogether you're writing 10 stations. Yeah, and then also in these stations you're meant to write at some point. Yeah, so with writing stations is the evidence-based station, then the professional-based station, and also in the skill station you might be asked to write in some stations. Yeah, take for instance the Braden scale. Yeah, you tend to write, and then also the peak flow meter. You have to calculate the peak flow rate. Yeah, that's by the way. Yeah, so but basically the tips in general, first is practical, like practicing basically, because it's clinical experience which you already have, which you are supposed to have. Yeah, before even coming to the UK or anything, you're meant to have those basic clinical skills, example, observations, which is basic vital signs. As a nurse, that's like the basic things that you should know about. So that one is by the way. But coming to a different place, they have different skills, different approach on how they do that. So this is where your training comes in. Yeah, so as you come to UK, your trust prepares you for Osce. In fact, in your contract, there should be somewhere where they state that, oh, they'll be making preparations for you, they'll be helping you prepare for your Osce and everything. If they don't, that means you have to be doing it which is why you have to find out from your trust before coming, if you'll be the one to prepare yourself or if they'll be doing that for you. But most of the trust provide that for you, so you come and then they help you. They provide a trainer, they provide an instructor to help you through your process of your preparations to your exams. I was lucky to have such opportunity to be trained by a very very good trainer in Manchester, and then also here in Bangor. So that's by the way. So if your trust is providing you trainers, then you are on the safe side. You don't need to bother yourself about extra trainings and everything. Just focus on what they give you, because when you have different people giving you different things, you can get confused. So if your trust is providing you trainers, then strictly follow the trainers. But if they're not providing trainers, then you have to source for trainers yourself. Personally, you go on, there's so many. In fact, if you go on your registration, your site which are registered, there are so many information there that are provided for people writing Osce exams. Yeah, so that's the first one. Practice, constant practicing. So if you go do any skills or any because at first when we went to Manchester, we didn't even know what we were even doing, because everything was just new. Though we have the basic skills, yeah, coming to UK, but then everything like is different. There's so many skills that we don't even do back then. We're coming from, and they were seeing it for the first time. Yeah, but then we have to, because there are some things. See, there are things that you must have seen at some point. Yeah, where you're doing your practice. It's just maybe like this how they do it that is just different. Do you understand me? It's something that you must have been exposed to, but it's just how they go about it that is just different. Don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's by the way. So first thing, like I said, constant practicing. You have to keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, like I said. So it's just like any skill. If you learn any skill and you don't continue practicing it, automatically you're going to forget. You might have like a basic knowledge about that thing, but then if you don't keep practicing it, you might forget. So once you have your time set, you have the registration done, you need to start practicing. Constant practicing. Most shows don't allow their nurses go to work till after their Osce, but some shows they expose you to the hospital settings. You go to work while preparing for your Osce, whichever one is okay, but I prefer to be working. That way I get used to how they do things. I see some equipment, I see some things. Yeah, but if you're home, you're not doing anything, you might not really understand how things are being done. You can't, what am I saying, you can still learn, you can still practice, but then you might not really have the full knowledge. Do you get me? So just like something that you are seeing for the first time when you get to an exam hall. Although you have you might have like things to practice with in your practicing center, but it won't be like as though you are doing it live. It's going to be like you're doing it afraid. I don't know how to explain it, but you just have to be there. You get me? So even when you even do the practice and everything, trust me, on the day of your exam, you're going to be anxious. It's normal with every first day you're trying. Trust me, it's normal. Even with all your practice and everything, on your first day, actually your first station, you'll be nervous and then you'll be shaky, literally. But then it's normal. They also understand that this is normal with every student, with every any student. Yeah, so yeah, practicing. That's the first thing I have to say. That's the first tip I have to give you. Constant practicing. Yeah, and then the second one, this nails everything. Yeah, although it's natural, but you really have to find a way to like keep it in check. Yeah, trust me. Even I myself, I'm talking, I was nervous. That's when somebody will say, I'll discard my patient and wash my equipment. So it's just stomach, but then you just have to find a way to just keep it in check. Yeah. Then at each station, before you start any station, you'll be given time to write your name and everything. And then some stations, they will tell you that you have to read during your time. So as soon as your time starts, you read. Yeah, so make sure that you read properly. Don't just jump into any station like that. Make sure that you read each station. Yeah, read each station before you start. Once your time starts, the first thing that you should do is to read your instructions. Read it and understand what you're asked to do. That way you know what you're doing. Because like you feel like, oh, you know it, you just jump and then you miss a certain important key. You understand? So make sure that you read your station, read and read it again, so that you know what you're doing before you start. Okay. Next thing is prepare yourself properly. Don't use too many informations. Yeah, at each registration that you make, each any university that are registered to do the test. They have Oxford, and then they have one in the Northern Ireland. Whichever site you're registered to, on their platform, they do have what's it called, learning materials for students. So you go on their website, and then you download stuff there yourself. They will have live videos of Osce skills. Yeah. And so also, if you're opportune to have trainers, the trainers also provide you with materials that you use to study for Osce. But if you don't, then you have to sort it out for yourself. Yeah. If unfortunately you don't have a trainer, if your trust don't provide you with the trainer, then you have to sort it yourself. Then you go to your platform, and on whichever place you register to do your exam. I did mine in Swindon, Oxford, Swindon. So they had materials available, although we were still giving some materials at our training centers. Another thing, when going for exam, you make sure you go with all your documents a day before your exams, or 2 days or 1 week before your exams. Your center will send you things that you need to go with. So they'll send the list of items you need to come with, so you make sure that you go with it. Very importantly, your uniform. Most times they'll ask you to get your uniform, which you wear at work, your ID card, your passport, your certificate, if you have a change of name, if you're married and have any document that relates to your traveling or your registration, you have to go there, because they'll collect the documents, and then they'll keep it. They'll hold the document when you go in, so they'll look at your documents. Yeah. So make sure that you check what they sent to you, what they need you to bring, and then you come with it on your exam day. Most people also, another thing, most people sometimes worry about time, bringing the wristwatch, breastwatch, and everything. Trust me, they always have a very big watch, a very big clock in front of you. So at doing your exam, you're seeing it. They always put it opposite, so you'll be seeing it. So you don't need to worry yourself about breastwatch or not. Even during your assessment, which you have to do observations, you have a breastwatch for you there, even with your timer there. So don't worry about watch. If you don't have a watch, they always have one for you there. Okay. Also bring your water as you're going for exams. But sometimes they do have water at the test center, because you really need to, because is a station, is a skill, is an exam where you have to talk, you have to demonstrate and talk, just like you talk and you do. So you'll be exhausted, so you need to like drink a whole lot of water, but then you provide with water anyways. Another thing, you need to make sure that you have food in your stomach, because trust me, this Osce takes like hours. Although the time, once you start, it runs really fast, but it takes time. It can take up to like 2 to 3 hours, yeah, depending on what skill you're doing. Some skills take longer time, some skills don't. Some skills are 7 minutes, some are 20 minutes. Like assessment is like 20 minutes, and then wound dressing, so many different skills with different timings. Yeah, so you might spend up to like 3 hours, 2 hours in the exam. So you need to have something in your stomach before you get to your station, before you get to your exam center. Sorry, you have to make sure you have something in your stomach. And you might stay up to 4 hours in this exam center. Yes, you have to make sure that you eat. Yeah, someone like me don't eat early, you can come with your food and your exams to your exam center, and then you eat there. They have canteen where you can just stay and then eat your food. Another thing I would like to say is make sure you come on time to your Osce center. If you're living far away, like us, we're living in Bangor, we had to go to Manchester. We had to travel the day before the exam. That way we avoid anything to avoid from village people. Yeah, just apart, you need to be there on time. So you go there. If you're living far away from your exam center, I go a day before, lodge in a hotel, and then even on your exam day, you go an hour before to make sure you're all settled. If you need to eat, make sure you eat, make sure you drink water, and be settled before your exams. Yeah, so you don't avoid like hurrying or anything. Another thing, when you're preparing for your exams, if you have like few weeks to your exams, if you have a long time between your preparation and your exam date, you need to be looking out for information update on the test, on the center which you're registered to, Yeah, because they might have new information as day goes by, so you make sure that you check on their website every day to know information that are new. Like when we started writing, when we were about to write, they told us we had some things that are going to add new stations, but when we checked on the website, we found out that although they have new stations added to the ones you have already, but they were not going to start it up until November 14th. So it was November 14th that they started it, and then we wrote was it October? Yeah. So but then they implemented the new skills. They added the new skills in November. So always check on the platform of your center to check for new updates which they added in their platform. Yeah. Another thing, I will not overemphasize. I cannot overemphasize the importance of reading. Make sure that you read. Like I said before, on the platform which you already start to, they have materials. They even have marking criteria. Just like you having answers to the questions you're going to be doing, you already have the answers. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You already have the marking criteria, the list of things that you're meant to do and how you're meant to answer them. You just have to just practice with them. Practice with them, read it, know what you're supposed to be doing, know what you're meant to do, because it's already there. That the information are already there for you. You just have to just read it and know it. Do you understand? It's like giving expo before exams. You already know what they want you to do. You already know things that they want you to do. You just have to just know it. Yeah, but it's not really nice to cram. But if some people that they really know how to cram very well, but it's advisable that you don't cram, because how many sessions do you want to cram? Do you get me? So it's good you practice, you read it. That's why you have time. Like me, I had enough time. We had enough time to practice. I had like 2 months to practice before our exams. Yeah. So if you have enough time, just you practice, and then read the checklist. Read your checklist. Don't go and collect information that you don't know where it's from. If it's not from the site, if it's not from this school, because different school have a different different checklist. But generally NMC provides you with a checklist which is what you're supposed to be seeing in your exams. Do you understand me? Every station have different market criteria, but generally they have NMC have their own checklist and their own skills, and how those skills are meant to be done, like the procedures and everything. They have it. So even if it's going to be different, it won't be too much of a difference. Even if it's going to be like a variation, the difference won't be too much. To still be similar to what all these centers have. So always go with what your center provides for you. Because if you use the one that Oxford use, and then you're writing in Ireland, it might have little variations. So it's advisable that you use the information from your exam centers to practice for exams, except you have a trainer. And most times those trainers, they try as soon as possible to get a checklist from different test center, and then compare it, and then make sure that it's in line with general ones. Do you get me? Because each trainers have their own checklist. So all the trainers do is they get the checklist from all of those centers, and then they compare it, and then they compile it. So each center have their own checklist. When they come, they give you the checklist, and then the procedures and everything are always inside there. Do you understand me? So that way you practice with that, and then prepare for exams. Do you understand? That is if you have a trainer. But if you don't have a trainer, then you need a responsibility to source out for information from your exam center and prepare for exam. Yeah. Another thing, as I'm preparing, make sure that you don't go outside of what you're supposed to learn. Don't go and do I too sabi, I too know, and go and carry information from where you don't know. Make sure that whatever you are reading is within the range of your profession, within the I don't know how to put it, but make sure it's within what you're supposed to be preparing for. Do you understand? Don't go beyond what you're supposed to prepare for, and then bombard yourself with some information that you don't even know whether it's correct or not. Make sure whatever it is you're reading is is correct. Make sure that the information is valid. If it's not valid, my dear, drop it and focus on your focus on the one that is important. Because trust me, you have different people, different checklists, different procedure manual, different thing for different people. So make sure that the one you're going to be using for exam, don't waste your time. Make sure you're because you don't have much time, except luckily you have. But if you don't waste your time with thing information that are not correct. Make sure that you have correct information. If you don't have a trainer, go to the website of the school you're writing or the center you're writing and get their procedure manual checklist from them. And also videos, there are already videos available. It's very important. Watch skills videos, like what skill videos. It will help you a lot. Even on YouTube, there are also skills that people do skills, like you just come and do skills for you and then you watch them. Yeah, but make sure that whatever you're watching, that it's in line with NMC guideline and their checklist, to make sure that you're doing everything within NMC guideline. Yeah. So another important point is about the results. So when your OSCE results comes out, what you don't have like 50%, 20%. What you get is that pass or fail. It's just like your CBT exam. It's either you pass or you fail. And then if you fail, they always give you feedback with accurate evaluation of the skills that you failed, what you're supposed to do, and where you failed. Do you understand me? So with that feedback, you're going to prepare for your second. So when you write OSCE, you have 3 attempts. You have the first attempt, the second attempt, and the third attempt. Trust me, most people pass their OSCE in second attempt. So if you fail the fourth attempt, don't be scared. Just prepare with your feedback for your second attempt, and then make sure that you pass a second attempt, because third attempt is just like it's just like 50-50. So if you don't pass for a second, the third one is usually like you'll be on the edge, because that's like the final attempt. Then you go back to your country. You lose your sponsorship from your what's it called, from your trust. Yeah. So first attempt, second attempt, and third attempt, and then you get either pass or you fail. And then when you fail, you have your feedback with what you were expected to do and where you went wrong. Yeah, that's one good thing about NMC, which I really love, because most of the exams we do back then in our home country, they don't really give you feedback. They don't really give you like appropriate feedback. You don't even know where you went wrong, so you just have like in general for everything. And then with OSCE, when you fail your OSCE, you don't repeat the whole 10 stations again. You repeat only the stations that you have failed. So that way it's very good. So if you feel like just one station, you're doing one station, then you're doing that same question that you failed 2, you're doing that situation, and then the exact same question. The scenario might change, but you get to answer the same the same skill that you fail. So you don't get to start answering the whole 10 skills again. No, you just answer the ones that you feel. Yeah, and it's really, really good.